Hello everybody, welcome to the Conscious Collaboration. My name is Jarrod Allen. Today I'm going to do a video that I think will be really helpful to people, whether it be they are preparing for their first ceremony or they've done a good handful of ceremonies in the past. It's going to be very helpful for people in their preparation stages, when they are participating, and also when they are in the after phases, weeks, months, years, in the integration phases of working with ayahuasca. Today we're going to do a video on talking with friends and family and how to navigate this delicate space. So it can be a really challenging part of the work with ayahuasca. A lot of this can be due to the fact of the collective understanding, the collective education, the collective perception around something like ayahuasca. It is a psychedelic and it does have psychedelic effects. As we know, it's a whole nother story, but ayahuasca has been lumped into that category as a psychedelic drug, which couldn't be further from the truth in my opinion. So it can be a challenging part of the work with ayahuasca. A lot of this comes down to people not understanding and a lack of education around the subject or a lack of experience a lot of the time. So I'm going to break this into three parts, talking with friends and family in regards to preparation, in regards to participation, and in regards to the period afterwards or the integration as well. So when it comes to the preparation and it comes to talking with friends and family, this could mean, your spouse, your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, partner. It could be close friends. It could be people in your sports team. It could be people at work. You name it. Anyone who's in proximity of your everyday life or even extended as well. So when we talk about this, I think the best thing that we can do to really give us a good foundation to be able to have these conversations is become educated. Educate yourself in regards to ayahuasca, educate yourself in regards to the process, educate yourself in regards to your understanding around it. This is going to give you a really good foundation to be able to have these conversations as they do arise, and they will arise. The next thing I think is really important is just choose your conversations, choose your convos. Everyone doesn't need to know that you are going to do ayahuasca. You're out the front collecting your mail and Bill, the guy from next door who you speak to every day for about 3.5 seconds, he doesn't need to know. That's not a conversation worth having, in my opinion. Just choose your conversations. Choose the people who you need to talk to. Obviously, you're going to have to tell your partner. Obviously, you're going to have to potentially tell your parents or, your close friends as you are preparing. They're going to start wondering, why you aren't coming for drinks if that's something you like to do. They're going to start wondering potentially why you're eating a certain way. It's a part of you. It's a part of something that you are doing. So obviously these conversations are going to come up. But definitely choose your conversations and the people who you're talking to. Don't be afraid not to give all the info. If it's not a person who really needs to know exactly what you're doing, then just sort of, give some information. I'm not saying lie here, but I am talking about potentially, at work, someone who you work with who might not be a close friend starts to notice that you're doing some journaling in your lunch break or you're eating a certain way. Just say that, or, you're going away on holidays for 2 weeks or something along those lines and they're asking you where you're going. Just say you're going to do some self-development. There's no lie in that. Say you're going to go connect with yourself a little bit deeper, or you're going to do some inner work. That is a really good way to sort of, tell the truth. It's a really good way to be able to communicate that you're doing something that's important to you without having to dive super deep into it as well. The other thing as well, I think is really important, if you need support in the preparation stages, which we all do at points in our life and in our lives as well, find someone with experience and find someone who is educated and understands the topic effectively and understands the topic appropriately as well. I think it's important. So if you need support, just find people who actually know something about it. I'm happy to help people in any way I possibly can. There's some information in the description as well. I do calls with people as well on a contribution basis if that is helpful to you. But usually when people are coming to do the ayahuasca, it's usually because someone's told them about it. So potentially, choose an ally, choose someone who is really grounded in their work with ayahuasca, and also get them to give you a little bit of help there as well. Just one thing, just be conscious of things like Facebook groups and things like that, and putting posts in Facebook groups. Now, I'm not saying that you won't be able to meet some really great allies, and a lot of people do meet really great people to talk to within Facebook, but just be conscious, if you put in posts in there, they can be counterproductive, because you get 30 varied responses to a question that you're asking a lot of the time, because we're diving into the unknown, so there can be some fear and nervousness, and trying to understand as well. But getting those 30 different varied opinions of people as well can be a little bit confusing. So these are all things that hopefully will be really helpful for you in the preparation stages as well. So as we move into the participation stages, when it comes to talking with friends and family as you are moving into or about to participate, I think once again, education is really important if we're having those conversations as you're going away, as you're about to participate, but also be very clear why you are doing it. I think it's really important at this stage that you're very clear why you're doing it. So if you're clear on that, you can keep people who are very close to you in the loop, and you can explain to them why it means something to you, why you're doing it, the things that you're trying to work on. If we've come to the understanding of why we're there, what our intent is, it's going to make those conversations substantially easier. Now, this brings me to my next point. We also have some responsibility in regards to these conversations, because the thing there is that the people close to us, if there's fear, if they're worried about you, if they're questioning it, if they're putting doubts in there, if we have empathy and understand that the reason why they're probably like this is because they don't understand, they also are just scared because they love you. They're just scared because they care about you. And if you start just skimming the surface with 30 seconds worth of Google searching or something, which the people close to you might do as they are trying to gain an understanding of what you're going to do, they might just cherry pick information that's going to validate that fear and pick some horror stories or something along those lines. So having empathy, having understanding where they're coming from, I think is really important. So definitely keep that in mind when you are having conversations throughout this whole period as well. So when it comes to talking with friends and family in the after periods of working with ayahuasca, in the integration periods, this can be years, the after effects and the after benefits of working with it. I think it's really important that we, especially at the beginning, in the days, weeks, maybe even months after, just give ourselves time to process before we start explaining it to someone. If we can't process it, if we're not allowing it to all settle in, and we're not doing, a bit of work within ourselves to figure out exactly what the messages are and exactly what the things that we have processed and worked through, it's going to become really hard to explain it to someone else. So give yourself time to process before explaining. This thing I think is really important, especially as I've worked with ayahuasca more. Keep some of the gifts to yourself. This could be keeping the whole gift to yourself, but keep some stuff to yourself. The process and the ceremonies with ayahuasca is a relationship between you, a relationship with the spirit of this medicine, a relationship with your journeys as a whole. And sometimes it's really important just to keep some of this to yourself and allow things to unfold. You don't have to explain every single tiny thing that happened to you in a ceremony, or try and explain your way out of the process of what it might have been happening. So keep some things to yourself. I think this is really important as well, is keep balanced as well afterwards when you're having these conversations. So I think it's really important to be very proud of yourself for diving into the unknown. Be really proud of yourself for facing your challenges and the things that are hard within your life head on. Be really proud of yourself. It's really important. But I think it's also very, very important. Don't start boasting about it. Don't start ayahuasca every second word that you're saying, oh, I did this in my ayahuasca, and start, pretending that you are the chosen one or something along those lines. We all are. So I'm not saying that, I'm not saying you're not important, but what I am saying is that, it's really important just to keep grounded. Be modest about it, be humble. Humble's probably a better word than modest. Just be very humble about the beautiful experience that you've been and the beautiful been through, and the beautiful gifts that you have just received as well. So just keep that balance. I think it's really important as well, because what happens is that, as we keep telling stories, if we just blurting out all the information, giving all our gifts away and telling all the stories in a way that people can understand, so they can get as excited about it as you are, generally what happens is we actually start diluting the experience by turning it into a story. Because every time we tell a story, I've read this somewhere before, is that every time we tell a story, the next time we tell it, all we're doing is remembering the last time we told the story. So therefore, we can slowly dilute our experiences from their true core essence through the process of constantly telling the full story in a certain way as well. So also, when you are talking to people, especially afterwards, it could be like this. You've had a really powerful experience. You feel really different. You feel great. You feel empowered. You feel lighter. You feel unblocked, But also, just when you're having the conversations afterwards, just to understand that everyone isn't ready, or everyone has their own path. So that might not be ayahuasca. I'm going to put my hand up here. After I did ayahuasca the first time, I was sort of that's it. Everyone needs to do ayahuasca. That's how I felt about it. And I'd tell anyone with 2 ears about it. And I do realize this was part of my journey, part of my path with it, by all means. But over time, I definitely did learn to sort of turn it down a little bit, and also start to understand that I need to approach it a little bit more humbly afterwards as well. So just understand that everyone's on their journey, and you don't need to sell anything. If someone feels called to it, if someone wants to work with it, it's going to happen for them. It's going to happen the way that it needs to happen for them. It's going to happen on their path when they are ready, when they're ready to work on these things, when they're ready to dive deep into this. And this should never be forced in any way, shape or form. This is probably the last point that I'm going to make, and this will probably encapsulate everything that we've spoken about as well. I think it's really important to embrace your work with ayahuasca. I think it's really important to understand that it is a part of your truth. It's a part of your story. So never be shy, never be ashamed, never feel like you have to change anything because you need to meet societal standards of what they think normal is. It's part of you, and it's going to be a big part of your journey after you experience this. After experiencing that, it can change our perception of so many different things, and to deny that, to hide that away, I feel like you're denying a part of yourself and you're hiding a part of yourself away. Obviously, this is easier said than done, dependent on your situation, but definitely be proud of it and definitely embrace it, because it is a part of you. Absolutely, by all means. So eventually you'll get to a point, this takes years. I don't know if this is the best term. I don't know if it's the most appropriate term, but for me, when I started being really open with it, the term I use is coming out of the psychedelic closet, and just being completely open with it being a part of me and something that I truly believe in, and something that I really do embrace and carry with me every day. The sooner I did that, and when I did that, and when I was ready to do that, everything changed, because I felt like, and I was embodying myself in my whole truth in that part of my life anyway. And also I found this really empowering and found this really, really important. So hopefully you have all enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully you've all gained some, hopefully some great pointers, a little bit more of an understanding when it does come to talking with friends and family about your work with ayahuasca or plant medicine. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Please make sure to subscribe, like, leave comments. This part of the asking for subscriptions is always one of the tacky bits of working with YouTube, but we have to work within the framework that's there, and the more subscribers we get, the further the message goes, the more videos are shown to other people. So please do just take an extra second to drop a subscribe there. I am very, very grateful for it. So thank you so much. But yes, thank you for watching the Conscious Collaboration. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. I look forward to what the future has to bring for this channel as well. And we are working very hard to really get this information out there. So thank you again.